I'm a few days late to this story, I know, I've just been busy with college and such. Anyway, from Yahoo, PS5 Pro and new Xbox Series X consoles now being tested, says rumor. A new rumor suggests that Sony and Microsoft are currently testing new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles that will be seen as a mid-gen upgrade. This came to light by known Rockstar insider Tez2, who responded to whether a GTA 6 bundle with a new PlayStation 5 Slim could release in the near future. This then prompted the claim that most AAA studios should have received the dev kits of mid-life upgrades or should receive them by the start of the new year. Both Sony and Microsoft have a history of releasing upgrades a few years into their consoles' life cycles. In fact, last generation, the PS4 launched in November 2013 before receiving a Slim model in September 2016 and a PS4 Pro in November 2016. The first report of a new PS5 and Xbox model being in development was made earlier this year by Chinese electronics company TCL. The company stated the supposed existence of the consoles during a presentation, where it was mentioned that both will feature 8K support and 120Hz capabilities. A 2023/24 release was further noted. I'm really not psyched at the idea of a PS5 Pro potentially coming out within the next year or two. I get it, next year, if you could fucking believe it, the PS5 and Xbox Series X will be turning 3 years old. And the PS5 and Xbox One were 3 years old when their mid-gen upgrades came around. But here's the thing though. To my understanding, the main reason why the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X happened was because the base consoles either didn't or struggled to run in 4K. 1080p was still the norm when the base PS4 and Xbox One released, but 4K quickly gained momentum in the years that followed. And that's not really the case with this generation because these consoles can run 4K just fine, and there is no demand for 8K consoles currently. I don't know anyone who gives that much of a fuck about 8K. Yeah, sure, later on down the line, 8K will probably become the norm, but there is no momentum behind 8K right now. I do not see that happening within the next year or two. So therefore, I don't see any need in pushing out consoles within the next year or two that are capable of running in 8K. But that's not even my biggest gripe with the notion of a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X coming out within the next year or two. An even bigger issue I have with this is we have barely fucking seen the full capabilities of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. These two consoles are still shackled by their predecessors. We are still seeing cross-gen releases 2 years into the current console generation. And I believe Sony even said that they don't plan on stopping new PS4 releases anytime soon. And you might say, well, look at something like the PS2. That had support for like, what, 15 years? But let's be real, what was the PS2 getting after a certain point? Shit like FIFA or Madden, stuff that really doesn't need high-tier graphics. It certainly wasn't getting AAA releases after a certain point. New games still have to be made with the consideration of a last-gen port being available. Developers can't fully utilize the hardware of the PS5 and Xbox Series X because they also have to make sure their games run on the PS4, the Xbox One, and let's also throw the Xbox Series S in there, because I hear developers hate that fucking thing. So if we're still getting major cross-gen releases 2 years into these consoles' lifespans, and they don't plan on ending cross-gen releases anytime soon, and we're supposedly getting pro models of these consoles within the next year or two, what the fuck would be the point in the base PS5 and Xbox Series X? If these rumors are true, that means we'll probably never see a wide range of games fully utilize the capabilities of the base PS5 and Xbox Series X. If developers are still accommodating for older hardware that is nearing 10 years old, the base PS4 and Xbox One turn 10 next year, if you could fucking believe it. And if developers don't plan on stopping this anytime soon, why would a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X even be necessary? So long as it remains common practice to shackle new releases to the PS4 and Xbox One, we are not going to be seeing a wide range of games fully utilize the capabilities of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So am I entirely surprised that a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X could possibly be coming? Not really. It was proven last generation that people will lunge at mid-gen console upgrades, so I'm not surprised that Sony and Microsoft are compelled to do it again. But I do not think we need mid-gen upgrades of the PS5 and Xbox Series X within the next year or two. If it were rumored that these consoles would release in 2025 or beyond, then fine, whatever. I would fucking hope by 2025 the PS4 and Xbox One are not still getting AAA releases, and hopefully by 2025 most people who want a PS5 and Xbox Series X already have one, because these consoles, especially the PS5, are just now becoming a little bit easier to find. PS5 stock isn't immediately selling out like it was even just a few months ago. What a fucking slap in the face it would be if someone just now got a PS5 after trying for 2 years to obtain one, and then in 2023, here's a PS5 Pro. The pandemic really wrecked this console generation. I firmly believe if it weren't for COVID, a lot more people would have a PS5 and Xbox Series X, and not as many people would be playing on last-gen consoles, thus eliminating the need for major cross-gen releases to still be occurring 2 years into the current console generation. Now, do I think these rumors are 100% true? I don't know. I learned from all of those Switch Pro rumors to take rumors like this with a grain of salt. I'm sure a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X will come eventually, but within the next 2 years? I sure hope not. There are rumors circulating around that a PS5 model with a removable disc drive and a stream-only Xbox console are coming relatively soon, so maybe these rumors are referring to those consoles. I hope. But anyways, let me end this video off with something completely irrelevant. The Resident Evil 4 remake looks so fucking good. Just wanted to get that out there. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.